My podcast about sports, about sports, about sports. Bop, bop. Howdy, Ags from the tailgate, home of Aggie football. Today's sponsor is Matthews Electric. I don't know what's going on there. Matthews Electric, full service electrical contractor in the Brazos Valley. No job too big, no job too small. Call Blaine at 979-220-6403. Light up your home, light up
Light
your
up your
life.
life.
Uh, Want to give a big shout out to Blaine. Blaine, who got me some nice ball caps, Franklin football, Franklin athletics ball caps. I've got a whole collection of them, all colors. Very nice, fancy. Thank you, Blaine. Peace out, brother. Uh, Folks, don't forget to email us at axtailgate@gmail.com. Get on the YouTube and subscribe. Subscribe. Give us some commentary. Let us know what's going on. What do you want to know about? What do you want us to talk about? Good stuff. Today's rundown, we're going to do a little preview of A&M at Mizzou. We're going to go through college football and some news and notes there around college football as far as the games last week. And then the power rankings. Top it all off with questions from the tailgate. So some news and notes. Basketball started yesterday. The Bucky era, Bucky ball
Buckyball.
against Northwestern State. Dude, dude. I'm telling you, I spent some time watching this ball game, Corey. What an exciting brand of basketball. I mean, full court press all day long, running and gunning, guys in, guys out. This was amazing. It's like the anti Buzz Williams basketball, right?
Oh, totally. Totally.
Like guys can shoot, shots are going up, people are running. I
The
mean,
ball's being moved, man. They're passing the heck out of that ball. You don't see Wade Taylor just sitting there dribbling the ball and or Boots just driving to the hoop. I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed that when Buzz was here, but I like what I saw last night.
I did not enjoy it, but hey, look, whatever. This brand of basketball is exciting, fun. They almost scored 100. They would have scored 100 if they hadn't let up in the second half, right? It was I think 56 in the first half. 56 in the
Oh, yeah.
first half, dude.
No, it was more than that, wasn't it?
No, it's 56 in the first half.
Oh,
And
yeah. They needed 44 to get 100. That's right. I saw
yeah,
that. Yeah.
and they let up, right? When's the last time we even I mean like thought about 100 points at A&M, right? Like that's crazy. That's
Been a
crazy.
while.
Um, Look, and that's without their supposedly best player, right? Uh, so who's out with an injury for at least a couple of weeks, it sounds like, maybe a month, and so this team, I was very impressed, especially with the fact that, he what he had to do to get this roster constructed. Dude, they have some depth. They were rotating, I don't know, 12 different guys in there. I mean, it was a bunch. Um, you know, they've got size and with Clemens, Agee, Federico, right? I mean, good physical size in there. Guys that can also step outside and shoot a little bit at that size. And then they
Yeah.
got guards, man. They got guards. They got a couple guys, a couple of really good shooters. Very impressed with Ruben Dominguez coming in there. I believe he led the team in points. I think he had 18.
Yeah.
And uh, you know, dude, it was awesome, dude. It was awesome to watch.
No, I loved it. But this is the state of college basketball now. We got 12 new players basically at A&M. It's a whole new team. It's if you look at other teams, it's the same thing just about. They might have one or two players back. It used to be you had 8 to 10 players back and two or three freshmen and maybe a transfer. Now it's every team you look at, man, you're like, who are these guys?
Look, they've got, it's probably a little ways before we really find out what this team is actually made of, right? But they got Texas Southern on Thursday, on Sunday, Oklahoma State, UCF next week. But it's probably a little bit until we really find out what this team is made of later on in the season. Obviously getting into the SEC play, which is going to be crazy, insanely tough with another year where 13 or 12 of these teams are going to make the playoffs, right? I mean, the tournament, and so we're going to find out for sure Um, but in the meantime, I think it's going to be pretty entertaining as far as the brand of basketball that we're gonna watch.
I enjoyed watching it last night. I'll tell you that much. The first half that I watched before I crashed out, it was fun. They pressed the whole game. They don't
It,
let
it,
up.
awesome, awesome. That
I mean, I'm
reminds me of
talking
my
in
high
your
school
face,
basketball coaching days, buddy, where we
dude. I'm
pressed
saying
the entire
they
time.
kept saying it on the monitor of the announcers kept saying it. This is pro style basketball. That's what it is. You press and you shoot threes.
Shoot threes and get to the basket, man. That's it,
Yep.
right? Look, great start for Bucky Ball, especially with what he was handed when Buzz left the program, knowing that he was trying to screw us every day, which way from Sunday he possibly could. Well, we overcame that. Bucky overcame that. He said, "The hell with you, Buzz Williams. We're gonna get better players than the ones you had in here. We're gonna get better players, and we're gonna be better than Maryland this year." So there you go. Take it.
All
Uh,
right.
Aggies, A&M football, still ranked number three after the bye. One first place vote in the AP, three in the coaches poll. So some people are starting to see this team as one of the main contenders, obviously in the country for a national championship. Pretty fun to be a part of this. We're gonna talk a lot of Aggie football here today, but one quick note: Auburn is coachless. Hugh Freeze, see ya.
Saw
Uh,
that coming a long time ago. That was just a yeah, dead man walking.
it was coming. You lose to Kentucky though, 10-3.
Ah, what an ugly game.
Gosh almighty. I can't imagine very many people were in the stands at the end of that game.
Do you think Stoops is going to make it to the end of the season?
I think Stoops makes it because of the fact that there's just so many openings, man. I mean, and do you really want to enter that craziness of trying to find a basketball or football coach in the midst of all of these openings?
I mean, does Kentucky fans really care that much?
Basketball started, man. They don't care.
That's what I'm saying. Do they even care? Are they
They're
like,
not, e- they're not even
okay,
going to the. They're not even going to go to the rest of the football games. They don't care.
yeah,
It's fine. Um, Look, they're only paying Hugh $15.8 million on the buyout.
that's it.
And I actually think I heard somewhere that may be coming down a little bit, maybe not, but 15.8, not much. Uh, Overall, he was 15-19 at Auburn, 6-16 in the SEC. The guy just didn't win. Period. And it's not like there's no talent over there, right? You look at that roster,
True.
that defense, talent wise, is probably one of the best groups we faced this year. And offensively, they got weapons out there and they can't score to save their lives, right?
And that's what Hugh Freeze is supposed to be known for.
He's supposed to be the quarterback whisperer, and yet he's brought in his own handpicked quarterbacks twice, and they may be the worst damn quarterbacks in the country. The
Oh,
worst.
awful.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Uh, all right, so let's talk a little Mizzou. Give it a little preview here. Game at 2:30 on Saturday on ABC. So this is big time, right? That's the SEC afternoon, main SEC afternoon game.
Hey,
In
hold on one second before you get started. I know you probably don't. Do you watch YouTube TV?
No,
You do
I
when
know,
you're in my
I
house.
know where you go. Where you're going.
This whole thing with them and ESPN is the biggest crock of crap I've ever seen in my life.
Did you
I thought it
cancel
was
your
all just,
YouTube TV yet?
huh? I got an ESPN app. I'm paying an extra $30 a month now just to have the app.
Just cancel your YouTube TV. Go with DirecTV Stream, buddy.
Dude, I'm so upset about this. I'm disappointed in ESPN and YouTube TV. You're killing the customers. You're going to hurt your own name just by doing this.
YouTube's going to figure it out because I
They
imagine
got to.
a lot of people are going to drop their product.
Oh man, my dad and my brother were calling me all weekend. Can you believe this shit and all this? I was like, this is ridiculous.
Well, you're not on a contract, right? So you can cancel it at any time, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I will because I mean, there's no reason to keep it. That's the only reason I keep it.
Yeah, it's the only
I mean,
reason to
I
have.
like the whole Ford TV to set up where you can build your own thing, but other than that,
Yeah,
no.
I would have already dropped it, and the moment they picked it back up, then we could have figured it out again.
Bullshit.
Yeah, that's craziness. That's absolute craziness. Get your shit straight, YouTube TV.
I mean, I live for the weekends. I live for the football weekends and watching all the games, putting 8 to 12 games on at one time with a couple TVs here and there, and I love that. Now it's like, what the fuck?
Look,
Anyway, that's
it
my
also
little
goes to
piss
show you,
talk.
though. It also goes to show you, right? I mean, ESPN right now is all money all the time, right? It's ESPN bets, it's ESPN, this. They are now the NFL network, whatever, all this stuff, right? Like, it's about money with ESPN. They try to influence the sports. It's whatever. Unfortunately, they televise everything, so here we are. Uh, yeah. So Aggies go to Columbia, Missouri. They misspelled Columbia, first of all. Let me just say that. They misspelled Columbia. Get the shit right. Columbia's with two O's. All right. But anyway, Columbia, Missouri, 2:30 p.m. on ABC. Look, this is a huge, huge game for the Aggies, man. Huge. Coming off of a bye. So is Missouri, right? Neither one of these two teams has any excuse not to be prepared. And if you win, you basically clinch a playoff spot, don't you, Corey?
I mean, you'd think so. I mean, you still got South Carolina and Texas. I mean,
Could you lose those two? Look, I don't think we're losing to South Carolina, but you could lose those two and still make the playoffs at 10-2, don't you?
you would think, but I don't want to chance that, man. I don't want to chance it.
Neither do I.
I don't
Neither
want
do
to have
I.
that conversation.
Neither do I. But look, drink this one, win this one, and I think you're setting yourself up for a lot of success. Look, lots of rumors about Eli Drinkowitz out there. We'll talk some about that. I don't think it's a positive for Missouri, by the way. I don't. Because in a bye week, in a bye week, Drink is sitting in there, and all his name is rumored to be parts of these conversations with Florida and LSU and so on and so forth. And we'll get a little bit more into the coaching thing because there's a lot going on there, but I think that helps the Aggies to tell you that. Mizzou is 6-2, 2-2 in the SEC. Their four remaining games, they got obviously the Aggies on Saturday, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, Arkansas. They they gotta win out to have a chance, right?
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I think they could.
Yeah. I mean, look, I agree with you. I mean, they could. They won't because they're not going to beat
Yeah, I think
the
they'll
Aggies.
go maybe 500 between those last four.
And yeah, potentially they could very easily lose to Oklahoma too, right?
Yeah,
Um,
hell, they could lose to Mississippi State or Arkansas. The way the season's gone, I mean, you
good
never know with Arkansas. They're up and down. They're not going to play any defense. They're just going to try to outscore you. And Mississippi State doesn't know how to end a damn game. They know how to hunt to the wrong players and shit like that.
Great point, but and I think on the other side of my argument about all the rumors with Eli, like on on the tough side for the Aggies is the fact that look, this is a must-win for them, right? They got their backs against the wall, and you got a tough team with their backs against the wall at their own house. They're not going down lightly, right?
Right.
Um, let's start with this matchup between Missouri's offense and the Aggie defense. Look, Missouri is averaging 35.4 points per game, which is 26th in the country. 237 yards passing, 235 yards rushing. It's just incredible balance while Bo Prabula was the quarterback. But Bo Prabula is not the quarterback. He is injured. He is out. And they've got a freshman, Matt Zollers, that's going to come in. He's 6'4", 214. He's going to have to lead this team against an Aggie defense that's been pretty good at times and not so good at times. But definitely a defense that has made life difficult on quarterbacks generally, right? And so, um, this matchup, Corey, it's all about this Aggie defense and how they do against the run, though, isn't it?
Yeah, let me before your stats are a little blown out of proportion there because in the SEC they haven't scored more than 30 points in a game yet in an SEC
True.
game.
That's true.
They've
They've
scored 29 against South Carolina, 24 against Alabama, 23 against Auburn, 10 against Vandy.
that's true.
So I'm just giving you a heads up there. That was with their starting quarterback. So I mean, the stats are a little inflated because I mean they put up 52 on Louisiana, 42 on Kansas, 61 on Central Arkansas, and 42 on UMass. So I mean, they're
You're
not some kind of juggernaut on offense, but we know what they are.
You're 100% correct. And along those lines, Corey, Ahmad Hardy is fourth in the country in rushing with 937 yards already. But if you go look at those numbers, a big piece of that is against those teams you talked about before, right?
Right?
Is against
Yeah,
those teams that are non-SEC teams, right?
exactly. I mean, they're a good team. I watched them play. They're good, very balanced. They want to be balanced, but like you said, with that quarterback being out, he's not as mobile as the other guy, and we saw what we do to statues back there. It's not good for the quarterback.
I'll tell you this, Zollers is not a statue, right? He's a decent athlete. He's not Pabula. He's not
No, he's
Pabula
not
by any
Pure,
means, but
but
he's
he's
not
not
a
a
statue.
Nessmeyer either. He's not going to stand back there and get killed like Nessmeyer did, and he's not injured. So
Right.
I think it bodes in our favor with that kid back there.
He is not as yeah, he's definitely not as athletic as Pabula. I will say this, he may throw a better ball. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
Mike.
He
Yeah,
may throw a better ball. And the thing is that he just doesn't have the reps, right? He doesn't have the reps. The good thing for Missouri in this case, though, is their offense runs through their running back, right?
true.
And
Very true.
both of their running backs, to be honest with you, because their backup Roberts, he's run for 428 yards, right? And so
Right.
their goal coming in against Texas A&M and our defense is to run the football and keep the pressure off of Zollers, right? Keep the
Yep.
pressure off of that guy. Let him play action every once in a while and let him see if he can throw a little deep ball. He's got a good arm. Hell, that Hail Mary pass was like 60 yards in the air, so he can sling it. But then give him some easy throws underneath too, right? Some little screen stuff and some easy stuff. And other than that, run the freaking football. If they don't run the ball more than 40 times, this game is over.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I think the Aggies are going to have to jump on them quick, get them out of that running game. Get them out of what they want to do. But Missouri's at home. The crowd's probably going to be a rocking. The weather's probably going to be a factor. You got to check the weather. I don't have any idea. It's probably going to be a little bit cooler. The Aggies aren't used to that cool weather yet,
True that.
and so it's just another game though. We got to do what we've been doing all year. Let's get after the quarterback, fix the
Not what we've been
defense,
doing all year, because what worries me is that this team comes
the running
out.
game.
This team comes out and does what they did in week one against the run game or against LSU in the first half against the run game, things of
Sure.
that nature. This defense needs to play. Elko needs to do what he's done oftentimes in the second half after his adjustments, where he's letting that defensive line play. He's got a safety in the box. I think you got to have a safety in the box the whole
Yeah.
game, right? There's no reason to have two safeties deep here. They're not,
Well,
that's not what we're worried about.
that's what I'm asking you. I mean, is there a wide receiver at Missouri that worries you at all?
I mean, Coleman's a good wide receiver, right? I mean, he is, but do I think that we need to have him double covered all the time? No, I don't.
No, that's what I'm saying. I
Certainly
mean, their
don't.
best receiver graduated last year is in the NFL.
Sure, sure.
You know,
But Coleman's a transfer, right? He's a transfer.
yeah. And that
And
Mississippi State team must have had a hell of a team, man.
yeah, no kidding.
I mean, god dang, every time I hear a wide receiver, oh, they were at Mississippi State last year. I don't remember them doing jack.
They weren't worth the shit.
God,
I think that guy needs to get fired. He needs to lose his job too, but maybe not this year either.
I mean, seriously, dude. I mean, damn.
They've also got a freshman wide receiver, Olubode or something like that. And he's looked pretty decent the last couple of weeks. He started to take on a bigger role there. I mean, look, the problem is that they can't get those guys the ball usually. Prabulo hadn't been very accurate. He hadn't been very steady with regards to the passing game. So, this week, maybe this freshman quarterback comes out and does something incredible, right? He looks like the next coming of Johnny Football or something out there, or whatever, right? Who knows? I don't expect that. I don't expect that.
Talking about Johnny.
Hey,
All
man,
right, go ahead.
my point
Johnny's six
is
foot
that
four, 220 pounds. Johnny football. I don't.
if
Yeah, okay.
well, much bigger Johnny Football.
I was
But
about to say.
what I'm telling you is, I don't care what he does. I've got eight in the box from down one till the game is over because the only guy I'm worried about here is Ahmad Hardy.
Yeah. Honestly, that should be our defense the rest of the season against damn near all these teams. I mean, it's proven to work every time we get off of that and we lay back in the defense. They either run the ball how they want to, or they gash us in the passing game because we're not putting pressure on the quarterback.
And look, they love that outside zone stretch. What's been part of our weakness, man, is that contain on the outside. You got to have that. Don't bring that safety from deep coming over there because he's going to be late. They're going to pick up yards and cut it off of you, right? You need to have him in the box to where he's forcing this thing in the backfield, and he's forcing
Yeah,
it back inside in the backfield, and then we're good. Those linebackers have got to be ready to run and play. I expect that this has got to be a big game for that linebacking group. Between York and Scooby and Sanford and the freshman Mikhail, who's been getting some nice moments here, some nice time, and those guys are going to have to be the guys that really take it a step up, and and
safeties.
now those two safeties, Brooks and Ratcliffe, right? Don't have them sitting back there. Get them in there.
Right.
Get them in it. Let's see this. If they're gonna beat me with freshman guy with with Cassius Howell breathing down his neck and Marco Jones breathing down his neck and Hayes breathing down his neck, hey man, let's see it. You know what I mean? Let's see
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
Um, Look, their O line's pretty good. They're they do what they do very well. I mean they in spite of a lackluster passing game, they've had a really good run game. So they're good at what they do. I don't think that they can do that consistently on Saturday. And I'm pretty sure Elko's not going to let him do it. Eventually, he will drop him down in the box. And our offense. So let's move to our offense against this Missouri defense, who's allowed 16.8 points a game, 14th in the country. But once again, go look at those numbers, and they're not that good against the SEC. They're still all right.
Not bad. It's no blowouts really. It's just the games have been pretty close. I mean, they lost. They scored. They gave up 17 to Vandy, lost by 7. Gave up 17 to Auburn, won by 6. Gave up
Auburn
27
only
to
scored three
Alabama.
against Kentucky, by the way.
Huh?
Auburn only scored three against Kentucky.
Yeah. That Auburn team. I expected more when they changed the quarterback. But anyway, they gave up 20 to South Carolina, 27 to Alabama. I mean, nobody's been scoring a lot against them, but it's because they play a different type of game. They slow it down. They run the
Right.
ball. They want they want big possession. Not a lot of
What's
big
what's the
plays from this
biggest
Missouri.
number they've had scored against them this year? What's the biggest number
Biggest
they've had?
number.
Biggest.
Biggest number is Kansas, 31.
Aggies are going to score more than that. I'm calling it now. Aggies are going to score more than that. So, this is a defense, and you go look at the defense, right? That defensive line is, I mean, that and the safeties are that's their strengths, man. That is their strengths. Defensive line, those guys, they've got some defensive ends that can come get you, but that entire defensive line is going to come and put pressure on you, man. And that's the key to that defense. Those safeties, you remember Catalan? He was at Arkansas years ago, man, like forever ago. I think he went from there maybe to Texas and then out to Missouri, but he was a big time player, man. I love how he plays. He's in the game. I like the safety group. They're physical. They get into the action, right? And all that to say is the offensive line for the Aggies, just as they've done all year long, is going to have to show up and play.
Hmm.
And what unit would you rather put this game on than that offensive line, man? I'm down. I'm down. Let's go. You know what I mean?
No, I dig. I get what you're saying. So you're saying their cornerbacks are trash? Their secondary, pretty much cornerbacks, linebackers, middle of the
Well,
field should be wide
one of
open.
their quarterbacks is a former Aggie in Norwood, right? Norwood, former Aggie there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So no, look, their secondary is veteran. They're veteran. They've been around for a while. Lots of seniors and graduates in that group of five.
Slow. Did you say slow?
I said
I didn't know what you said. I didn't hear you. I thought you said they're slow and veteran. I didn't know what you
veteran,
said.
veteran.
Oh, gotcha.
A lot of experience, man. And so, what does that tell me, man? Is that yeah, I like that idea, man. I like the fact that they're experienced. I think that's good for them. But can any one of those guys cover Casey on his own? No. Can any
No.
one of those guys cover Rio on his own? No. Right? That's not happening. They're kind of not. And so we have the advantage there, right? We do have the advantage there. And but having said that, we still have to control the defensive line, and I think we do that with our run game. I think we do that with our run game.
Who's
Uh,
going to be running the ball?
here's my here's my I don't think it's that bold. I think it's Morrow.
Oh, I like it. I like what he's done this year. I like what I've seen.
I think we're
He's
going to
got a
see
little,
a lot of Morrow. Don't get me wrong. It's by going to be committee, right? Owens is going to get his carries. Daniels is
is
going to.
Owens healthy?
Yeah, I think he's going.
Okay. I didn't know. I didn't know if he hurt his ankle that bad. No, I saw the roll 2 weeks ago. And he's had 2 weeks to heal, but
Yeah, well, and Elko didn't say anything about it in the presser. So maybe he's not, and then we see a lot of Morrow, right? A lot of Morrow. I wouldn't be mad at that, by the way. Wouldn't be mad at that.
yeah,
Um, but I do. I think that those guys are the guys that have to take the pressure off, and then of course we'll mix that in with a little bit of Marcel Reed magic, right?
yeah, I got you.
I wouldn't be
Okay.
surprised if Marcel has a really good game without his numbers being that crazy, right? Like just completes a lot of balls, hits maybe a deep one in there, and just hands the ball off a ton, no mistakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see it.
Let me ask you this: who do you expect to be your defensive player of the game for the Aggies?
Well, I think of this team. I think it's going to be one of the two guys in the middle. I mean, I'm thinking Regis or Hicks. I think they're going to have to have big games if we're going to slow that run game down. And if they do that, man, if they can push that offensive line around a little bit and give Cassius and them guys a chance, and like you said, the linebackers to move up. If we're playing 8 men in the box, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Albert Regis. I think he's on a big game. He's been quiet last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Look, they're going to have to play well. The problem with that is that these guys like to run a lot of outside zone stretch, right? Outside, 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 and yeah, I mean, Albert could definitely get in the mix, running shit down from the backside, right? I mean, I expect it to be one of those safeties. I think it's going to be Brooks. I think it's going to
Really, I hope so. He's played
because
well, man. He's played really well. If he can
yeah.
keep his head out of his ass and catch the damn ball when it hits him in the hands,
Woo! Jeez, get it. Who do you think the offensive player of the game for this game?
man, I think Rio's been kind of quiet. I'm ready for him to blow up. I think he needs to blow up.
Hey,
I'm just
that's
saying.
not a bad pick.
I
That's
mean,
not a
he
bad
isn't.
pick.
I'm not even talking in the passing game. They need some end arounds or get him involved. He's good about getting him involved in different aspects of the game. So I'm gonna go Rio. I think he's gonna do something. Just not for anything Missouri's done. I just their secondary. I don't think is.
Yeah. No, I like that pick. I like that pick a lot, but I'm gonna go with my statement from earlier. I think Morrow's going to have a big game. Player of the game.
Wow.
Corey, let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about some job openings, what's going on in college football, all the craziness that's happening. Look, LSU, we know. Florida, we know. Auburn, we know. Arkansas. Then outside of the SEC, Penn State, Virginia Tech, Oklahoma State, UCLA, Stanford, Oregon State, Colorado State, UAB, Kent State. We barely got into
Wait,
November.
Kent State's open. Kent State is open.
I believe so, yeah.
Got a chance.
Me and you are going to both apply, right?
Yeah, give me a call. Give me a chance.
Give me a chance. Hey, listen.
God, they should see what I do on that NCAA football game, man. I can
Whew,
tear shit up on that.
I was a recruiting son of a gun, man.
That's what I'm saying, dog. Woo, damn.
Look, I'll tell you this, man. We're not even through, we're all barely into November. There's going to be more. There's going to be more.
Oh God, yeah.
There's going to be more in the
Want to be a
SEC.
couple more of the SEC? Yeah. Who's the
Uh,
next one in the SEC to go? Who's the next one?
it could be Eli when he decides to go to Florida or Lane when he decides to go to LSU.
Well, that won't happen. And I'm talking like during the season. Anybody else going to get fired during the season?
Man, I don't see anybody in season. I was thinking, Mississippi State could fire their guy, sure, but I don't enter that. I don't go into that this craziness of a coaching carousel. Not
What
this.
about Beamer at South Carolina? Is he safe?
I think Beamer's safe. I think Beamer's safe this year anyway. I think he's safe this year. You know, and who knows, right? I mean, something could go awry over the next couple of weeks, and then somebody else is getting fired for sure, right? Like, I mean, it could easily happen,
Right.
right? So you never know, but I think the next guy to go is one of these guys that just leaves to get another job.
They're not going to leave during the season, though.
No, no, it's going to be after the season.
Are they going to play in their? Are they going to coach their bowl game? You think Eli? You think Eli's going to go to Florida or LSU?
I think if I'm Eli, I would take any one of those jobs today.
I've heard Lane Kiffin's name everywhere, especially with Florida and LSU for the other stuff I listen to,
Look,
and I
here's
heard
what
they're going to throw. Huh?
here's my question to you. If you're Florida, do you call Eli?
Well, what's your first choice? Is Lane Kiffin your first choice?
Yeah, I think it's got to be Lane, don't you?
Well, is LSU's first choice Lane?
Probably, maybe. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. If I'm Lane, I'd take that Florida job first. And the reason being is I walk into that place and they are loaded with talent. And his name, they'll keep Lagway there. They'll keep those crazy ass receivers there. Like I walk into that joint and go win a national championship next year.
Uh, hmm. Yeah, I don't know. The transfer portal is so big that I don't even care who's there and who's not right now. I'll go get what I want. Lane's already shown he can do that at Ole Miss.
Yeah, but you forget, man. You forget, and people don't give it enough credit. But you know, the other half of that roster, more than half, right, is players that they recruited and developed, right? There's a lot of these guys that have been here. Yeah, you fill
Yeah,
spots, but let me ask you, which teams have been successful in in this era, right? It's Ohio State who comes in and plugs one or two pieces out of important pieces out of the transfer portal and puts them in, right? Or five, let's say four pieces, maybe five pieces. But
right.
it hadn't been Lane who goes 11 new players on defense. Last year they tried that and they didn't work. This year they probably also tried it.
You know, we're talking about these coaches, and there's a name that no one's talking about.
All right.
And I don't think he's happy. I think the Alabama coach, DeBoer, I don't think he's that happy at Alabama.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh, wow.
I don't
Like,
think
I
he's
was
that
gonna give you I
happy.
was gonna give you names like Kiffin, like Drink, John Summerall, who at Tulane, who everybody's talking about, Brent Key at Georgia Tech, who everybody's talking about. Hey, James
Ah,
Franklin doesn't have a freaking job, right? Lashley
yeah,
SMU just got an extension. He's off the board, right?
is
Campbell
he?
Campbell at Iowa State, Fish at Washington, Silverfield at Memphis, Golish at UCF, Mullen at UNLV, Chesney at JMU, Lee at Vandy, Joe Brady, offensive coordinator of the Bills, former offensive coordinator of the LSU Tigers, CJ Kine, who's killing it at Texas State. Jeff Traylor at UTSA has done some crazy things. Tim Banks at Tennessee, he's the DC. He's done pretty good. Not this year, though, so he's not going to get hired. Schumann at Georgia, what do you know? Come on, man. That dude, Stein, the offensive coordinator at Oregon's done a freaking phenomenal job with that group. Eric Morris at North Texas, man, those cats could put some damn points up on the board. I'll tell you that. How about
Yeah,
Harbaugh, the OSU offensive coordinator? I mean, there's all kinds of names out there, all kinds of names out there, and you just threw one out that I wasn't even going to mention.
I'm just saying. I think he's feeling the stress, the heat at Alabama. I mean, especially after that first game they lost.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably one of the worst places to be when you don't win, but it's
Yeah,
probably one
that's
of
what I'm
the
saying.
easier
You
places to
think that
win.
fan base would be mad to see him go? I don't think so.
I think they after this year they would. Now, look, they still gotta finish.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an interesting name, right? I mean, they keep complaining about the dude. You know, be careful
Would
what
you
you
take? I'd take him in a heartbeat.
be careful what you wish for, right?
Yeah, I'd take him.
Um,
I'd take him in a heartbeat, man.
yeah,
Anyway,
I think there's a lot of teams that have openings right now that would take him for sure,
yeah.
including the one in Baton Rouge.
What about okay? So let's say who do you think Lane Kiffin goes to Florida? All right, who goes to LSU?
Man, I think LSU's got a little bit tougher task here because now
Need a
you've got
fit. You need a good
got a
fit.
governor, you got a governor of the state that's involved in the freaking process saying, hey, we're not just going to give away money around here. And you got an AD thinking, we need a big name around here. And well, I don't know who the AD is because
I don't say who's
fired,
AD.
right?
Yeah,
So
who's AD?
I mean, that's craziness over there. Or do you have,
Yeah,
is there going to be alignment between the athletic director and the head coach? Because the AD's not even going to be the guy hired. It's the interim AD, and he's going to get replaced. And next thing you know, another guy's going to come in and be your boss. How about that?
yeah.
That's, I think that's a tough situation at LSU. That's why I don't think they get Kiffin. That's why I don't think they get Kiffin. I
Yeah, there's a
think,
lot of chaos there. A lot of
yeah,
chaos.
I just think that they're probably looking somewhere else.
All
And
right, so then you got who are the other big jobs? Penn State. Who's Penn State taking?
that's a good question. I mean, Matt Rule was the name, right? Matt Rule was the
And
name.
what happened with that name?
He got paid. He got paid. But you know what? You know what? I also think about this, and the structure of that contract apparently wasn't something so onerous that they still can't get him out of there. So who knows, right? That may have been an appease for them to be able to calm the kids down so they can go try to win some football games, right? Because the kids are jumping off the bus or whatever. Who knows, right? Why they did it? I don't think the numbers are so crazy that he can't still leave. But now he's lost like two out of his last three games, hasn't he?
Did they lose to USC last week?
They did.
I don't remember that game.
Yeah, they sure did. Is there any chance that Freeman at Notre Dame moves? Does he leave that program?
I think he's one of the most stable coaches in the nation. I think Notre Dame loves him. I didn't love him after the first two games, but he makes his college football playoff again. I don't think they'll let him go.
And he's trending in that direction, right? He's trending in that direction.
Who's the coach at Vandy?
Clark Lee.
I think he's got to move somewhere. I mean, I know he's a Vandy guy. You told me all this, but I think that money, those big bucks are going to come flying in. I don't think Vandy has the big bucks.
No, I agree with you, and especially because of the fact that he's also losing Pavia, right? That the heart and soul
Yeah,
of the team is gone after this year.
you
You
better get out while it's good. He
get
ain't
out
going
while
to
the
have
getting's
another
good.
chance like this.
I agree. I think he goes.
Market's high on him.
How about a guy like Dan Lanning at Oregon? Can anybody pull him out of there?
Nobody can pay as much as Oregon. I heard that the buyout can change. I heard something about his buyout. Something I don't understand how that works. I thought the buyout was set, but evidently, why would you want to leave Nike?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, that's the question. Why would you leave Nike? Why would you leave what you got going on there, what you've built? You've got all the resources in the world, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
Oregon State sucks. Oregon State sucks. He doesn't have any in-state competition.
Big Ten and
He
the
can get
rest of the
what he
Big Ten
wants on the
sucks
West Coast.
aside from Ohio State and Indiana. The rest of the Big Ten sucks too. So you can make the playoffs every damn year.
That's what I mean. But the West Coast is just you pick who you want, player wise. I mean,
Oh
who
yeah,
else is out there that's doing anything?
100%.
USC maybe. UCLA sucks. Cal sucks. Oregon State sucks. Washington's all right.
Yeah, yeah. I think he might have the most secure position on the
I
planet, right? Like to me he may be the most locked in, maybe other than Kirby Smart, like Kirby and Dan Lanning, 1 and 1A,
don't know. Elko's up there.
maybe. Um, so how about a guy like Lincoln over at USC, man?
He was a big name for a long time, wasn't
They've
he?
only got 2 losses so far this year.
Yeah, he was a big name at one time. Hey, I could see him going to LSU. I think he'd be a good coach at LSU.
You know, that's a guy that maybe tired of, living that USC lifestyle where you can't win, you know?
Yeah, he can't keep up. He can't get the talent out there he needs. I think he can get it in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, we'll see. He is you know glitz and glamour kind of guy, but we'll see. But I think that's an interesting name that starts coming up for these big
And
jobs,
he
right?
left Oklahoma to go to USC.
Yeah,
You leave Oklahoma. That's,
yeah. So
so
USC,
he's saying USC is a better job than Oklahoma. So is he saying LSU is a better job than Oklahoma?
yes,
So would Brent Venables leave Oklahoma to go to LSU?
he would leave Oklahoma to go to LSU. Yes. Now LSU
Wow.
is not calling Brent Venables by it, mind you.
I'm just saying.
Hey, how about Dabo?
No,
He gone.
no,
I think
no.
Dabo may get fired anyway.
Oh yeah, he might get fired, but I don't think he's going to go to one of these big jobs. No.
Brom at,
How
at
about
Brom at Louisville, former Louisville quarterback, right? He's got all the ties over there. Does he leave for a big job? Penn State?
didn't he go to Purdue and get ran out the door at Purdue?
He left Purdue to take the Louisville job in spite of the fact that Purdue sucked.
That's what I'm saying. No.
They
I
just
mean,
beat Miami.
I don't think Brom is your coach of the future for that place.
They just beat
I mean, I'd
Miami,
rather
man.
go after a Heupel or somebody at Tennessee. I don't understand why Heupel's name's not coming up.
Should it?
Yeah,
Where's he going? I love it. I love it. I love it. I freaking love it. It's freaking chaos, man.
dude, it's
It's
gonna.
freaking chaos. I've got a list of guys I would call, and I'll give them to you in a little bit later. But if I'm looking for a guy, I got a list. All right.
All right,
It's a
you
quick.
haven't even said Brady's name. Brady out there, the old offensive coordinator.
Yeah, Joe Brady. No,
Yeah,
and listen, he knows LSU, man. He's been there, right? Now, I don't know if he rubbed people the wrong way while he was there. He was only there for a year, right? So maybe the fact that he came and went, maybe they rub people. But dude, you want to have more success than what he did over there? Of course, he did have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson. I mean, is he bringing those guys back with him too?
we're what's the old coach of the Buccaneers that won the Super Bowl? Little angry guy.
Oh, John Gruden.
Yeah, he was on a podcast talking to a. I can't remember who he was talking to, but they were talking about this also about coaches, and the guy running the podcast says, "Why don't they call, like I've said before, Nick Saban? How do you get Nick Saban? At least a phone call."
Sure, you give him
You
a
think
phone
he's
call, but I'm telling you what, man. I don't believe Nick Saban's coming out of retirement. I think Nick Saban is happy as a clam. That dude is living the best life. I don't think he's getting back in. He's getting back into that mess.
I think that he understands it better now, the transfer portal, than what he did before. And paying players, NIL, I think he understands it better. So that's the only reason I can see him getting back in it.
Yeah, dude, the guy's in his 70s, man. He's happy, dude. Leave him
Dude,
alone.
why wouldn't you hire Nick Saban as like your manager of the team or something. You know what I'm saying? Like the
I mean, look,
what's the new
I
position they have now? Instead of athletic director, don't they
if
have
he
like
took my
somebody that?
call, if he took my call, I'd pitch him the contract for sure.
Yeah, do it. Oh,
Quick look around the SEC this past week. Really entertaining game. Georgia holds off Florida 24-20. Kind of big fourth down stop in there. Kind of bad call by Florida on the play, so on and so forth. But
dude, is that Georgia team that good? Is Georgia good? Because they keep winning by like little. I'm not talking like
hey,
skin of their
that's
teeth.
something to be said. Something to be said. Winning by what? Always winning though, right? So
Them in
I don't
Texas,
know.
Texas the same way.
I'm not impressed by any one aspect of that Georgia team, but they continue to win ball games. So I don't know.
Their defense, I thought would be better. The defense hasn't impressed me.
No, neither
They're not
side of the
aggressive.
ball is
They're
all
not
that
as
impressive.
aggressive as I thought they'd be.
Noah Thomas with a big touchdown in that one, by the way. Ole Miss beat South Carolina 30-14. Started a little iffy, but pretty much after that it was gone. Um, Texas beats Vandy 34-31. Talent ultimately prevailed here, right? You could tell the difference in the two rosters. And I think Manning's a Heisman runner up again or a Heisman Trophy, candidate again. So
You do?
no, I don't, but the national media does.
Oh, I was about to say what? I'll tell you that game wasn't as close as the score was. Vandy had to
No,
get
no.
back into it. I mean, it was a 2 or 3 touchdown game there in the fourth quarter. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think they gave up, I don't know, 21 straight or 17 in the fourth quarter or something.
Yeah.
OU beats Tennessee 33-27 on the strength of three turnovers, two interceptions and a fumble by the Tennessee quarterback there, Aguilar. And so, OU prevails with some defense, buddy.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm still not sold on OU's defense. Everybody's talked about how good their defense is. I haven't seen it.
Look, Tennessee supposedly is the best offense or the top two offense in the SEC, one of the best offenses in the country, right? I mean,
They held them to 27.
at
Oh, good
home,
job.
at home, at
Yeah.
home. They
Yeah.
held them to 27.
Okay. I'm
Uh,
hearing you. I'm
look,
picking up what you're
Oklahoma,
laying down.
Oklahoma staying alive in the playoff picture. That's really what was important here, right? The loser of this team is out of that playoff picture. So Tennessee's out, OU stays alive. Mississippi State beats Arkansas 38-35. First SEC win for Mississippi State. Basically guaranteeing Petrino is not getting that job full time. Any thoughts on that one?
No, none that I think both those teams suck. Go ahead.
Best game of the game. Kentucky beats Auburn 10-3, baby. Barn burner gets you freeze fired. See ya, wouldn't want to be you.
God,
Sadness in
both
the
those
SEC.
teams suck. I
Teams.
don't know what to tell you.
Let me tell you what's left for the teams in contention of the playoffs. All right, let me tell you, I'm going to line these out for you. So you got A&M,
Go.
Bama, Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas, Oklahoma, and Vandy.
Yeah.
All still have two losses or less. Okay. A&M 5-0. They've got Mizzou, South Carolina, Sanford, and they go to Texas. At Mizzou, at Texas, right?
All right.
Two, we know what the Aggies have. Let's look at the ones we don't know. Bama 5-0, 7-1 overall. They got LSU, Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, and at Auburn. In or out?
Yeah.
Win out?
No.
Who you got them losing to?
Auburn.
I like that pick. I like that
I don't
pick.
know why, because they always have a hard game. I mean, Auburn sucked. What was it, 2 years ago and almost beat them? Was that the
Oh yeah.
game where Milrow had to throw that lucky ass pass?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. They almost kept them out of the playoffs that year. Uh, Georgia's 5-1, 7-1 overall at Mississippi State, Texas at home, Charlotte, Georgia Tech.
They'll lose one of those games, maybe two. God, I hope they beat Texas.
Who are the two they're gonna lose to?
I was thinking Texas and Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech beat them last year.
I don't think there's any chance they lose to Texas, by the way.
Dude, that team's. I mean, they're barely winning. How that game's set up for both those teams that suck.
Yeah, well, Texas is also barely winning against lesser competition. I, I just no. I don't think they lose to Texas. If any, I don't know that they lose another game in the regular season.
Who do they play this week?
Georgia Tech at the end of the year might be their toughest game. They go to Mississippi
Play
State.
Mississippi State this week. That game's only a 7.5 point. Go ahead.
Anyway, Ole Miss 5-1, 8-1. They got Citadel, Florida, and at Mississippi State. Man, they might as well buy their tickets, right?
I mean, the egg poll's always something weird. Where's that Florida game at?
They're at home. Ole Miss is at home.
Yeah, they should win that.
I think that they're a shoe in. Even if they lose one of those two games, I don't think they lose both of them. They lose one of those two games, they're still in. They're in the playoffs. Those guys, Lane Kiffin is in the playoffs, and that makes things harder on anybody trying to hire him, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Texas 4-1, 7-2 overall at Georgia, Arkansas, and A&M at home. They can't lose one, right?
they're going to lose one.
So they're not getting in. That's it. It's over, right?
Yeah, I don't think they're getting in. And what
Well,
do they do? So, what does Texas do if they lose to Georgia? Is their season gone? Are the players giving up, or is Sark going to be looking for another job?
Sark's rumors the NFL.
Yeah, where? Tennessee?
Yeah, who knows, man? I mean,
Would you want to go to Tennessee?
you know, I know that most of these coaches would prefer to be in the NFL because it's like half the work
I can understand that.
and the same pay or more.
Yeah,
So not bad.
yeah.
Either way, I don't know. I think Texas does make it. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know that they give up for that A&M game. That's too much of a rivalry there. I think you still get plenty of that stuff going on. So no, I don't anticipate that happening. How about Oklahoma 3-2, 7-2 overall? They got at Bama, Mizzou, and LSU. Any chance in hell?
Say that one more time.
At Bama, Emmett, Missouri at home, and LSU at home.
Who is this?
Oklahoma.
They're going to lose at least one. They'll lose to Bama,
They may lose all three.
Missouri, and who was the other one?
LSU.
Oh, they should beat LSU because that defense supposedly is great. Everybody keeps saying.
All right, so I mean they're probably but that's a 9-win team. They're still out, right? They're still out.
Yeah,
This is the game
yeah,
of the year for them at Bama. This is
yeah.
and
That's this weekend.
no, that's next weekend because they got to buy. They got to
God,
buy.
there's a lot of good games next weekend.
Yeah.
Next weekend, shit, I'm already ready for next weekend.
Vandy's 3-2, 7-2. They got Auburn, Kentucky, and at Tennessee.
Shit, they'll probably lose one. They're going to lose at least, I think, to Tennessee. But Auburn and Kentucky, God, they suck.
I'm telling you, I think Vandy could make it. I think Vandy could make it. Tennessee
Ah,
might have quit by the time that game happens.
what's Tennessee's record?
I don't know. They're not in the contention anymore. They've already got 3 losses.
Do they?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Uh,
that.
so here's my SEC power rankings. A&M is still the most complete team. They are number one. I moved my teams. I went Ole Miss number two. Ole Miss number two. I moved Bama to three, Georgia to four, Missouri five, Oklahoma six, Texas seven, Florida 8, Vandy 9, Tennessee 10, 11 Mississippi State, 12 LSU, Arkansas 13, South Carolina 14, Kentucky 15, Auburn is now 16. What
It's
do you
hard
think?
to argue with that. The only thing I'd probably move Missouri back a little bit, but that's about it.
I had a hard time with 5, 6, 7, 8 kind of right in
Yeah, I
there.
can see that. I can see that. And yeah, I guess you got to put Auburn at the back if you lose to Kentucky
You
at
lose to
home.
Kentucky. You lost to Kentucky.
Oh yeah, you got to be dead last. You got to fire your coach for that. Oh, they did.
Oh, they did.
Oh,
Around the country, Ohio State dominates Penn State in the second half. 38-14 is the final.
that
Indiana,
team's good. I watched
look,
that game. That team's Ohio State's good.
Ohio State's good. They got some wide receivers that are pretty darn good.
Yeah, that quarterback ain't afraid to sling it out there either.
No, he'll throw it. He'll throw it to him.
Yeah, he will.
Indiana impressed the shit out of me against Maryland. I mean, I know Maryland is not that great competition, but 55-10, dude, they looked excellent.
Yeah,
Uh, Georgia Tech lost its first game. Beat by
they're
NC
done.
State 48-36, Georgia Tech.
You
Uh,
know who's in first place in the ACC?
Virginia,
Yeah. What?
insanity, insanity.
Boom.
Speaking of the ACC, Miami loses to SMU 26-20. That's their
Miami might be out. Are they out of contention for the playoffs?
They should
They're
be
right
because
there still.
they should be.
Huh?
They really should be. Notre Dame beats Boston College 25-10. A little bit of a down game there.
That's
Tech beats
ugly.
K-State 43-20, bouncing back from the loss with their quarterback back in tow, and they put it on them.
Yep.
At K-State, by the way.
Who's
Utah
been
beat
playing well?
Tennessee 45-14. You loved that Cincy team earlier. Boy, Utah put it on them, boy.
And Utah might be playing the best football in the Big 12 right now.
And your favorite team,
BYU.
well, your dad's favorite team, West Virginia, on the
Yeah.
upset of U of H 45-35. They were celebrating in the Castle household.
My dad was happy. He called me about 100 times to tell me what's going on. And I was watching the game, but he called to tell me what was going on.
Love it. Looking forward to this weekend. Tulane at Memphis is a big one with maybe some playoff ramifications there, right? Memphis is probably right now the favorite to get in. Uh,
Yep.
Indiana Penn State at one point would have been a big game. I think now it's kind of crap. Uh, Georgia Mississippi State. Georgia's only a 7.5 point favorite, Corey.
I know. I don't.
And they got Texas next week. Is there a little bit of a trap game here?
Could be. I don't think they're going to lose this game, but it might be close. Shit, they play close games all season.
Hey, de facto Big 12 championship, maybe. BYU at Texas Tech. Ooh.
Ooh.
Texas Tech is favored by 10.5, by the way. No respect.
I kind of
Uh,
like BYU, but
Here's the Big Ten game of the week: Oregon at Iowa. Oregon at Iowa, man, and Oregon only in a 5.5 point favorite. Iowa playing surprisingly good football right now, right? I
what's
mean,
the over under in that game?
43 and a half, not very much.
Always, always.
You know we're going to under. Uh,
Iowa's playing, baby. You got to take the under.
Auburn at Vandy. Vandy's minus 7.5, trying to keep their life, their playoff life alive.
Auburn at Vandy. Vandy's minus 7.5.
Yeah,
Dude, give me Vandy all day.
all day.
Ease it down.
LSU at Bama. Is that this weekend?
Evidently, what's the spread on
Minus
that?
minus 11.5, buddy.
Over under in that one.
50 and a half. I I think 11.5, man. Give me LSU, buddy. I don't know.
Really?
I think
Did
so.
you watch A&M play LSU?
I did. I got to figure you fire Brian Kelly, you get better. That's my theory.
All right.
Navy at Notre Dame. Notre Dame is minus 25.5. Navy's undefeated.
No.
One
They
loss,
got
man.
their ass kicked last week.
Oh yeah, they just got their ass kicked. That's right.
I mean, they got,
North Texas. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't know what the final was in that, but I think they
The
lost
crazy
pretty
part is
bad.
this still may be Notre Dame's toughest game left.
Oh, probably. What they already? It's Notre Dame played USC yet?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, probably isn't.
Yeah.
Probably.
All right. Question from the tailgate, buddy. Uh, what players do we need to get more playing time in the last few weeks? Is there anybody that you think about that we need to get involved here in the last couple of weeks that maybe hadn't been that involved?
No, they've already got the guys involved I wanted to see, and that's Morrow, the running back. I like to see him. I'm trying to think who else. I don't know a lot of those defensive guys that are second and third teams, but I mean, maybe some offensive linemen that we haven't seen much of.
Yeah. So my thought process goes to kids that, we need to make sure that they're sticking around next year, right? And so
Yeah,
young guys that are second teamers right now that we need to make sure that they're sticking around. And that goes to because we know that there's offensive linemen that are not going to be here next year. Four, maybe five of them are not going to be here next year, right? Could be three, could be four, could be five. But a bunch of
they
these
don't get like a
guys,
sixth or seventh year eligibility.
I don't think so. So some of these guys behind them are going to have to play next year. Let's make sure that we're getting a little bit of playing time. Now, yeah, we'd like to be in a secure spot in the game and so on and so forth, but I'd hope that over the next couple of weeks we'll have Sanford, South Carolina, some time to get some players in there where it's not going to be critical that can get
God, you're
them to
already
the
putting that
finish.
South Carolina game up as a W, huh?
They just fired their offensive coordinator. Probably tells you something.
All right. I
So
ain't jumping on that wagon yet.
Borden, I'm thinking Borden. I'm thinking Rogers at the offensive tackle, Funk and Ivy, at the guards. I'm thinking these guys. Let's get them some playing time. I'd say Miles O'Neal, but he's probably going to be playing somewhere else next year, so don't worry about it. And Marcel's going to be back, so not that big of a deal, right?
True.
But TK Norman, a guy that got a touch the other day, that hadn't gotten a touch all year. Bussy, I think Bussy's huge. Let's get him some freaking touches, man. That dude we need to make sure and entice this guy to make sure that he's sticking around, right? And the other group that I'm thinking about is the cornerbacks because we got a lot of guys that are going to be gone on the outside and Lee and Chappelle, right? Guys like that are going to be out. Like we need somebody that's going to step in there. Hell, Des Ricks could freaking go, right? He's having a phenomenal year. Who knows? My hope.
Anybody could transfer now.
So so like you need to get these young guys in there and let them get some reps. Let's give them some reps. That's the guys I want to
Let
see.
me ask you this.
Yeah.
How does that impact our team for next year? Let's say Elko or Klein, they get offers and take another job. Does Marcel follow one of them?
Um. All depends on who you get, right?
What I'm
All
saying.
right. So with that, let's go to our final question from the tailgate today. Big rumors and speculation is that Penn State is going to make a run at Elko. What's going on? Does he leave? What's the situation with Klein?
I hope he doesn't leave. I hope they all
Let's
stay, but I don't think A&M can keep them all.
start with Elko, man. Start with Elko. Start with Elko. What do you?
Just keep the strength and conditioning coach, and we'll be all right.
That's a big one. Go ahead
Yeah,
and give him. Let's give him an extension.
yeah. Pay him more than the head coach, and we'll be fine.
I love it. But let's
Uh,
let's talk. Let's talk a little Elko, and let me give you a little something here, right? So
I'm listening.
when all those rumors came out about Kurt Signetti going to Penn State, what happened?
They paid him.
They signed that contract extension. I mean, I don't even know if it was the next day. It's like that shit was quick, right?
Yeah,
Rumors about Matt Rule going to Penn State. What they do?
guessing they paid him.
They paid him. All right.
You know who starts these rumors?
Hold on. Now that everybody's talking Elko to Penn State. They're saying he is their top target. I read this earlier. He is their top target at the moment. The other day in a press conference, while he said, I don't even give any thought to that, he didn't say, I'm not taking the Penn State job, right? He did not say those words. He didn't deny it. He just said, I don't give any thought to that. They had a whole bye week this week. You don't think A&M was reaching out to Elko's people saying, "Hey, give me an extension. Let's sign this extension. Here's what we're willing to offer." No extension was signed. Any chance he goes, Corey?
Yeah, there's a chance. I'm 50-50 on it. If he leaves, who's our coach? Klein?
Um, I don't know that I'm 50-50, but I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. When the rumor first came out on Schloss going to Texas, I said no chance in hell, right? I said
Oh,
no
yeah.
chance in hell. And that dude left for Texas, right?
Oh.
So,
What about Buzz leaving for Maryland? I mean,
oh, I knew he was leaving. That
oh, you
wasn't a
miss him. I
question.
know.
But Elko went to school at Penn. He's from the Northeast New Jersey, right? His
Yeah,
that's his, that's where he grew up.
yeah.
he's also very defensive minded. He coached at Notre Dame right up in that area and stuff like that. Like he's defensive minded, that Penn State, kind of tradition. And I mean, one, if I'm Penn State, that's who, why wouldn't I target that dude?
Yeah,
But I'm not going to go 50-50 because we're going to make the playoffs and the
he's
Aggies,
got a lot returning next year. I think too. I think that helps having Marcel and these guys returning.
yeah,
I mean, you lose a lot. Don't get me wrong, we're losing a lot on no line, but you probably had your
O
skill
line and D
players
line,
mostly
O
back.
line and D line, right? D line again this year because Cassius Howe, Regis, maybe Hicks, right? Like,
Yeah,
but so your point's taken. I'm not gonna go 50-50. I'd go probably more. Right now I'm like 65-35 that
that
he
he's going to
that he
stay.
stays. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And if he does leave, who do you call? Do you give Colin Klein the job? Is he ready?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, do you call Brian Kelly or one of the
No.
coaches that got fired?
No. No, you don't.
Uh,
Like hiring
I
Jimbo
don't know.
Fisher.
I mean, who did we want before?
I'm gonna tell you who I would call, who my first call would be Kurt Signetti. Can we afford that buyout? Because I'd take him in a second. I'd take
Well,
him
I'm
in,
sure we can. We paid Jimbo.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
What's Elko's buyout?
if he leaves,
Yeah.
I don't know, but not
Because
enough.
doesn't another team, doesn't another coach, don't they have to finish paying us or something like that? I don't know how that works.
Who knows? Every contract's a little bit different, but like that's even the fact that he got paid. I still make the call because I think that dude has done as good a job as anybody in the history of football and what he's done at Indiana.
Hmm.
Um, but here's the look. Here, people want big names and yada yada yada. Man, go look at big names that move at some point and how well they actually do. Right, like after the move compared to before the move, and it's not really that pretty of a number. And so what I'm telling you is I would not be reaching other than the guy I just named. I would not reach for a head coach or a big name. I'd call a guy like maybe CJ Kine at Texas State, who's turned a program that was nothing, whatever. But a couple of guys that are also part of the Signetti group. Mike Shanahan, their offensive coordinator, not that Mike Shanahan, is doing a great job with that offense. Has for the last 2 years, right? I mean, that's a guy that I could say, hey, let's bring that to this offense as well, right? Bring this that let's have that guy come on in. Their defensive coordinator's doing a great job. With Signetti's involvement, I don't know if that's the guy I would call necessary. How about Chesney over at James Madison?
Man, I don't know. I mean, just recruiting's such a big deal, and so is NIL now. I mean, I don't know how coaches understand that. Does JMU understand that as well? That's such a different
Great,
aspect to it
great
because I
point.
mean, Elko understood it because he came from Duke, and it was he was
Yeah.
getting into it. Klein came from K State. He understood that. Most of our coaches came from bigger schools. So, I mean, you bring in a small school guy who's not used to this NIL. They might be great coaches, but you got to have. If you don't have the talent, it's going to be hard to win.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, where did Signetti come from? Right? He didn't
Yeah.
he didn't have that, right?
Where did he come from?
Where, God dang it, why'd you ask me that question?
I don't know. You said think about where he came from. I'm
Oh.
like, I don't know. What the
I
fuck
knew
did he?
this. Just
Huh?
I knew this. It's just I'll think about it. Anyway,
All right, good. Get back to us next week.
yeah, I'll get back.
No, anyway, let's Signetti and all these guys. I think you go to a coaching tree and I mean, look at Kirby Smart, where he came from. He was a defensive coordinator at Alabama. You get I think a coordinator job is the
And
next.
Lanning, a coordinator is maybe the way to go, right? Lanning is also a coordinator at Georgia, right? That's where he came out of.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm thinking is get the next coordinator. I mean, get that guy Brady from LSU. I like that guy a lot. You hear me?
Lots of options. How about, and there's a Gerard Johnson, the former Aggie out there.
Good
You can.
goddamn, you say his name like every time we talk. I like him, but Jesus,
Hey, last thing on Colin Klein here. Last thing on Colin Klein. Um, Unfortunately, I do think Colin's gone after this year, right? I mean, somebody's going to offer him a head coaching job. Hell, somebody might poach Kansas State's head coach, and he may get his alma mater to offer him a head coaching job. Oklahoma State's open right now, and if they haven't called Colin Klein, they're idiots, right? So I think Colin's going to get a head coaching job. I think he's going to go. So we will be looking for a next offensive coordinator. And that, my friends, if Elko stays, that's going to be huge because if he gets the wrong guy,
I
all bets are off.
got you. Hey, Signetti previously served as the head coach for James
James
Madison,
Madison, I knew it.
and before that, the Indiana University of Pennsylvania, IUPUI or whatever. So
Yeah,
that's where he was.
guys got great history. Great history.
There it is.
All he does is win. Apparently, you can Google him.
Yeah, it's true. Anyway, all right, buddy.
Giga Mags from the tailgate.